I think that's the way we're gonna track it down this way. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. This guy. He said, maybe. No, we can technically adjourn the closed session. That's what I read. Three minutes to go. We should have marked you guys at the beginning of the year. I think it's cool. Let's see how. Should you have anything? We're still doing changing description. The MRA suites. Also decided to go on again. Yeah. Yeah, that's trying to get out there. That's last advertising for the marketplace. Yeah, I think it's roll out. Here's your lane marker on it. There was such a little bit oh, great. At 7 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order. For the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the records show that we do have a quorum present, or quorum this evening with Directors Dupont, Marcus, Christian, Munter, and Manicki present. I'd like to welcome all the visitors this evening. Right in, on your agenda this evening, we are going to move item 8.4, the closed session, to after 12.0 on the agenda. It'll be the last item this evening. And we are going to remove report from the high school student council. They don't have anyone here this month, so. Motion to approve agenda. Second. Motion by Director Christian, seconded by Director Marcus to approve the agenda as amended. I'm going to add. Yeah, is there any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Agenda is approved. Item 3.0, the consent agenda. It was in your board packet when it came out. It includes our meetings from our last board meeting on April 17th, from the special board meeting on April 23rd, finance checks and wire transfers along with payroll checks and direct deposits. Do you have any questions regarding the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
A motion by Director Manicki, seconded by Director Munter to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Item 4.0, public comments. Public comments.
It was really fun. Yeah, and
How did you keep track of how everybody was doing?
oh yeah, in the cafeteria we had like signs, and it had like, and then every time after we were done at the bank counting the money, we posted it. So then when kids were at lunch or breakfast, they could see like which classes were winning and how much money they needed to win. And, yeah. Yep. And we went to the bank and
And what are you using the money for?
to buy school supplies for our school, and we raised with all of the businesses that we gave out canisters to put money in, and our elementary school, we raised $644. And yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about with that?
And if you want to show the video of we had.
Are we ready for the video?
Yes.
All right.
So at the beginning of the year, we have like a thing, and the whole class is like, there's like a list, and you like vote for your friends, and you can also vote for yourself. And then Miss Amanda, if you're a student leader, she puts a sign in your locker that says you're a student leader.
Okay, so you have to get voted in every year then?
Well, you only get to do it 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. Yeah, and it starts when you're in 4th grade then?
Yeah.
Well, I always enjoy the reports that you guys give every month, so I appreciate that. A lot of good work. What was your favorite thing that you guys did this year?
I like going to the bank. Yeah. I liked going to like all of the classrooms, and we brought a bunch of treats for all the teachers. Coffee. I liked when we did the challenge course, where we went to the challenge course and like we had to like walk and like challenge ourselves. I like during kindness week when we made kindness boxes, and there was like something new in it every weekday, and like when the kids, they would be like all excited for what's gonna be in it like the next day, and I like that.
My favorite was the donut cart, just being in the presence of donuts.
Yeah, the donut cart didn't get out of Mr. Bushy's building, unfortunately.
Stayed in my office. Well, I just want to say, my first year as superintendent, my experience with this group has been nothing but positive. I've had an opportunity to sit with them a couple different times, talk about some things, was able to share some of the process of school that moves slower, I think, than these children would like it to move, but they're understanding. They brought some ideas for it. We are working on some of those. And then just all the accomplishments, all the projects you did throughout the year are really, it was really impressive to me. So on behalf of the entire school district, thank you. And congratulations, and keep up the good work. How many of you will be returning? Do we know yet, Ms. Wiener? Who's returning for next year yet?
Well, they all have to apply, so
Gotcha.
everybody has the opportunity. We have a few student leaders currently that have done it already. If you have already done it, or this is your second term, raise your hand.
So that they will
We have a
automatically.
couple of kids that won't get to do it next year,
Gotcha,
because they've already done their term, so.
gotcha.
But it can be a whole new group of kids next year, just
Sure.
because of voting and that type of thing, so.
Sure,
And then the 6th graders go to the high school, so they can't do it.
yeah.
But I'm super proud of these kids, they do a lot of amazing things and get our whole school involved, and it's been super fun to see, so, it's a great group of kids.
Congratulations, guys, you did a good job in this matter. Thanks, guys. Alright, moving on to finance, 6.1, the fund balance report.
If you look at the documents that Joan provided for you, I met with Joan this afternoon, or late morning, I believe, and just asked her a few questions on those. The fund balance, as you can see, just continue to grow just a little bit. And nothing there again that has changed significantly. It will be interesting to see with the legislation that approves school lunch for everybody and breakfast, I guess, how that fund transpires over the next couple of years. But really everything else is in place as she suspected. The expense revenue summary, and again, you look at the expenses and what percent of the expenses that we've expended this year, and we're obviously getting near the end. And then the revenue is a little bit slower to catch up with some of the expenses, but we have obviously money in the bank for cash flow, our current expenditures, and again, nothing that Joan is anticipating that's going to change what we predicted basically for revenue and expense for the school year, which will close officially on June 30th. The bond report, really, there's nothing to change this year. We got a little bit, or this month, we got a little bit of interest. That's again, still sitting at right around 71,000. And that would be the extent of the financial reports from the business department. Any questions there that I could answer? Whatever.
Yeah, in regards to the building bond accounts, we did not get the tuck point done in time for, well, before fall. Is that planned for this summer?
I think that's really where we're gonna have to, the LTFM will determine what are our major projects. And some of that will hinge on the inspect report that we get, where the actual, but the money is setting aside there.
Okay, so it was just put on hold until we
Yeah.
have further direction.
Yeah, there's a few furniture items that we purchased out of there throughout the year, but really insignificant for the total, what's remaining.
Yeah.
But to that end, and I will wait for that to my superintendent's report. And then I'll take responsibility for not doing this earlier in the year because we've had other donations, but we're going to start identifying our donations on a monthly basis that we're receiving from individuals or groups outside of the district towards the district programming that we have. And we want to start this month with two donations that we received. R&J Broadcasting gave us a check for $200. And we received that because we nominated the most students for Student of the Week through their radio stations. And really that's a credit to Marguerite who really leads that charge. So we got an extra $200 there. And then family of Dwayne Christian, or Scott's father, did donate $1,000 to our basketball program. And we're very appreciative of that. I know that was near and dear to him, and we kindly and graciously accept that donation as well.
Thank you. I guess we'll move on to item 6.4, which is to accept or not accept the donation from R&J Broadcasting of $200.
Make a motion to accept the donation, many thanks.
Second?
Motion by Director Marcus, seconded by Director Christian to accept a donation of $200 from R&J Broadcasting. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved with many thanks to R&J Broadcasting. Moving on, 6.5 is to accept or not accept a donation from the family of Mr. Dwayne Christian in the amount of $1,000.
Make a motion to accept the donation with many thanks from the family of Dwayne Christian.
There's a motion by Director Marcus, seconded by Director Manicki to accept the donation of $1,000 from the family of Dwayne Christian. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved. I'd like to thank both of those for their grateful gift to the district. Moving on, 7.0 reports. Mr. Bushy, elementary reports.
Yeah, enrollment, you can see we're down one, at 315, total 374, just down one for April. Item number 2, testing. We completed our math, reading, and science MCA testing, and then we'll look for results. We have preliminary results that just stay in-house. The results are made public at a later date, usually in August. And so we'll take a look at those preliminary results also. Then we're completing our STAR 360 reading and math, and that is for K through 6. That will be completed by this Friday the 19th. Item number 3, I'd like to thank Alyssa Commissioning and Paul Peltier for our elementary band and grades 4 through 6 choir. Had a tremendous concert on May 8th, so a big thank you all to them. And just so proud of our kids and their talents, whether it be singing or instrumental. They did a fantastic job if you were there. Item number 4, 6th grade. They have their class trip on May 22nd. They travel to the cities. Difference with the Twin Cities is that they are not staying overnight. They drive down and drive back. They are on a charter bus. And then they go again on May 24th to Fargo. So those kids are excited about that opportunity. Then along with sixth grade, we have our promotion. We'll be promoting 45 sixth graders to the high school on May 23rd at 10:30. I believe, is it Allison? No,
I think Jacob.
Jacob, that's right, okay. Okay, I just gotta remember that. I have it written on my other report. Okay. Item number 5, this FYI for all board members, we have a family fun night scheduled for Wednesday, this Wednesday, the 17th, from 5 p.m. to 7. We'll have 4 inflatables from Gainesville. It's been a few years since we had them back, and then there'll also be a meal. So always well attended. The weather sounds tremendous for Wednesday, so please come out and enjoy that. Item number 6, end of the year awards program is scheduled for May 25th at 9 a.m. We'll be presenting attendance awards, student leaders, student of the month, accelerated reader, foster grandparents, and writing awards. Item number 7, just an update on our summer programs. We will be providing Summer Learning Academy, and that will be June 6th through the 29th, on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then our 21st Century program will continue May 30th through June 30th, and that's Monday through Friday, 8 to noon. And then item number 8, we see our students of the month for K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'd like to congratulate those students for Student of the Month for May. So, good month. A lot of great things going on.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Bushy? All right, thank you. Moving on, high school principal reports. Mr. Denarski.
Yep, on Friday, last Friday, May 12th, we had our annual scholarship recognition, took place in the gym. We had students in grades 9 through 12. Obviously there is an audience and of course people from the community. We distributed $45,000 worth of scholarship to our seniors that obviously qualified for those particular scholarships, and those are coming from various organizations that make those donations for those scholarships. Letters are being sent to parents of those students who are probably in need of attending summer school. Again, just kind of piggyback off of Dan, it'll be June 6th through the 29th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 to noon in the Media Center. And Kelsey Tronmet will kind of organize and run that for us this summer. May 8th through the 12th was Teacher Appreciation Week. And so here at the high school, we celebrate in a couple of different ways. Monday, I went room to room and served the teachers donuts and juice. And then Wednesday through Friday, we had pretty much a big buffet of snacks and food and you name it in the staff lounge. There was a parent group that provided some of that. National Honor Society students provided some of that. I know our staff are very thankful for just that sign of appreciation.
That donut truck didn't make it down to the south.
Nope.
Almost keep hitting lost.
May 10th, I attended the Polk County Health meeting. It was regarding vaping and obviously the epidemic that's taking place. Various schools were there representing the county, of course. Law enforcement was there. Polk County Health, and so on. Just obviously talked about similarities that all schools are facing with the vaping problem, how they're trying to combat it, and things like that. One of the ideas coming out of there is that maybe each school should have basically the same guidelines or set of consequences for students for vaping and educating them as well on the hazards of vaping. May 17th, actually, I take that back, it's gonna be tomorrow, the 16th, I'm gonna meet with the class of 2023, and we'll discuss what graduation is going to look like, as well as what their last day of school is going to look like, which transitions into the next item there. The 23rd is their last day. We have a lot of things taking place that day. They will arrive, they'll clean out their lockers, turn in any items that they need to, pay any bills that they need to. And then from there, we're gonna get into the cap and gown, get on a bus, travel to the elementary. We will be parading through the halls, and so it'll be kind of like the old, and as we do the transition of the sixth graders in with the new. They will return and have lunch with the staff here. And then they will have their graduating class photo taken, individual pictures taken, and then we'll do practice for graduation. And then we will see them on Friday the 26th, which is graduation at 7 p.m. And then our enrollment numbers to wrap up there are the same as the previous month.
Time is graduation practice on?
We will finish up the picnic at 12:15 and get started with practice right after. So we'll start getting them organized in the old gym and bring them through.
Who else is handing out diplomas for that? Jacob and I, okay. Any questions for Mr. Donarski? Thank you. Superintendent Silk.
Yeah, a few items there, not a ton, but negotiations continue with Prairie Pines Children's Center. We have a kind of a preliminary agreement right now that looks favorable for both parties involved. Need to finalize a couple pieces there, and we will be bringing a proposal very likely at the June meeting. Close of legislative session nearing. I think some stuff came today. It looks promising. It's not a done deal. We kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I sent you an email late this afternoon, and that's hopeful, of course, but I didn't word it very well, but it's not a done deal. But the conference committee, the House and Senate met over the weekend and got a lot of stuff done, which the general feeling is that those things will see their way through the finish line. I really am thinking that a work session on our school finances is probably going to be appropriate for us when we know for sure what the final funding pieces are for for next year and the following year. And so I'll be working with Dean and not knowing for sure when that's going to conclude, try to find a time in a couple hours in June. I would want Joan there, I would want April there, so we can really get a feel for where we're at financially moving forward. LTFM committee will meet this Wednesday. Main agenda is safety and security, and also James Manicky will be there with numerous updates on facilities. He continues to uncover needs, and I want James to be able to present those to you and speak to you about those. That is the LTFM committee, which is a membership of 3 board members. The other board members are welcome to attend, but you would be considered audience, just so you know. Otherwise, we get into special meeting laws and stuff. So you would be representing yourself in the audience, and only the 3 committee members would be able to act on any motion that would really be brought before the full board at a later date. As you saw in your packet, we will be acting on 2 resignations of our custodial group at the end of this month. And even without those, our custodial staff obviously has earned vacation time and paid time off, PTO time, which we want them to use and be able to use. They deserve it, they've earned it. And to offset those hours that are going to be missed by 2 resignations and the gap maybe between hiring some people and just the other custodians taking their vacation, we are going to be hiring some student help for the summer, and really think that we can give some projects to some high school students that one, be able to handle, and 2, will really help our maintenance issues throughout the summer. Cutting grass, moving desks, a whole host of items. Still 2 positions to fill, teaching positions, our music position and our part-time English. We do have an applicant for music and an applicant for the part-time English, right? And so the principals and myself will be determining how and when we move forward with that. And then just echo what Don said, last week was American Education Week, very well supported in our community by outside community groups in support of our teaching staff, and as well as within our system, our National Honor Society here at the high school did provide a very nice lunch and goodies for our staff as well. So if you haven't had a chance to thank our teachers, a quick email to them, I'm sure would be appreciated. That's the extent of my report.
All right, any questions for Superintendent Zook? All right, thank you. Moving on, 8.0 personnel. Item 8.1 is approve or not approve the letter of retirement from Sandy Drellick, the elementary lead custodian. There was a letter from Sandy in your board packet.
Mr. Bush, any comments?
Yeah, huge thank you up to Sandy for, I think, 24 years of service to the district. And I think she struggled with this decision. And now that the decision was made, I think she might even be struggling more, trying to figure out what she's gonna do. But she'll be missed. So I wish Sandy nothing but the best in the next phase of her life. And she did mention that she would like to continue some sort of driving, so I'm sure she'll be, I don't know, busy.
Yeah, in my 10 months, I can tell you that I leaned on Sandy a couple different times, and you know, this past summer when I first arrived, she was replacing Neil, who was out with surgery or some medical issues, and she took over the lead through the summer, and then upon Neil leaving in October, she assumed the head duties in our transition before James arrived, and in both instances, really showed a lot of leadership, took care of things. So I would echo Mr. Bushy. She has been a great employee for this district.
All right, thank you.
Motion to approve the retirement of Sandy Drellick.
Second. Thanks.
All right, we have a motion by Director Christian, seconded by Director Munter to approve the letter of retirement from Sandy Drellick as the elementary lead custodian. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved. 8.2 is approve or not approve the letter of retirement from Teresa Anderson as custodian at the high school, effective May 30th, 2023.
Teresa was one of our evening custodians, and I don't know the number of years she's been here, but in there, 18 years of service. So again, another long-time employee, and we appreciate her efforts and wish her well.
You know, I would just reminiscing on here too, as far as Sandy and Teresa, whenever you meet them in the hallway, they've always got a smile. So we've got a great group of custodians for many years. But I would make a motion to approve the retirement of Teresa Anderson.
Second. Thanks.
All right, we have a motion by Director Christian, seconded by Director Marcus to approve the retirement of Teresa Anderson. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved. Moving on, 8.3 is approve or not approve the posting of a custodian position.
At this time, James is asking for just posting of one of those positions. He and our two principals and myself will be talking more strategically about the second this custodial staff. So at this point in time, we're asking for approval to post one. With the help of the students this summer, we'll probably wait a little bit before we post the second one.
Motion to approve the posting. Second.
We have a motion by Director Munter, seconded by Director Marcus to approve the posting of the custodian position. there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved. As we stated before, we move 8.4 to the end of our meeting, so moving on. Operational 10.1 is accept or not accept a bid from United Bus Sales for purchasing of a handicap bus.
So the background on that is, we came to the board here a month or 2 months ago, April, I'm not remembering, to call for bids. Yeah. We do have a handicapped student that is transported daily now. When we got that student came to us partway through the year.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. So when we did get that bus out of the garage, it had some deficiencies, but the state guy, DOT, said he would approve it to be used for this current year, but would not approve it going forward. And so we started looking, and that's when we asked for the bid, the ability to bid out a bus. United Bus Sales out of Big Lake did propose to us it's a used vehicle, bus with only 33,000 miles on it. Has the ability to carry 2 wheelchair students if need be, or 2 wheelchair people if need be. It also is big enough to serve as a route bus for the rest of the students that would be on that route. It comes in at a price tag of just under 90,000. We have about 80,000 remaining in a line item for transportation this year. If you recall, we purchased a Suburban earlier this year. But I'm exploring and been told by a couple different sources that there is funding available for us to seek reimbursement for this purchase because of the handicap ability of it. So in the end, we believe that we'll actually be reimbursed for. I don't know exactly the amount we'll be reimbursed for, but we'll be under budget when we're done.
With that purchase, would that put our fleet at one handicap accessible bus then?
True. Yeah. Yeah. And that might be something for us to consider, though I think in our system right now, we only have the one student, correct?
At the elementary, but then one at the high school.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That student is not is not getting it, at least at this point in time. Yeah. I think the beauty of this is that the buses are large enough that whether we could use the bus for a variety of purposes, even if we weren't carrying a handicapped student on a given day. Could take a team out of town if need be, that type of thing. So we'd be seeking acceptance of that bid.
And from transportation committees, meetings, and internal discussions too, I've always been told that it just makes sense to go for a full-size bus compared to a smaller bus too, as far as cost. But I've never seen a proposal for a smaller bus.
Right.
Now, with a route, do the smaller buses work?
Well, that's what we're up against right now. I mean, it barely works. The current bus we have.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many it's manageable with the smaller bus.
Is that what we're using right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The handicap bus we have right now is
Smaller
smaller in nature.
Smaller in nature that we use for the route currently. Route 5.
And of course, we don't know where that handicapped student's gonna live. I mean, we know currently where, but in the future. So that was the desire to get a larger bus so that it could, in essence, I think we can be assured it can handle any of our routes with the number of students we have.
What's the backup plan if we have another need on a different route for handicap accessibility? Is there an option for family transportation?
Yes, yep, and there's reimbursement for that. And this particular family that we're serving right now did help us out a little bit for a while,
The bus was
while the bus was getting certified.
certified and at one point repaired.
And how does this put us, for inventory of buses then?
Well, that's gonna be something that's really closely looked at this summer, over the summer months. Ryan Hanlon and myself believe that there are a couple buses that should be retired. And we need to really take stock of what is the condition of the buses we have. I will say that we've had more, maybe I shouldn't say it because I don't know comparative, but in my mind, we've had more breakdowns this winter than normal. And I think that speaks to the fleet a little bit. So we will be, in next year's budget, we will very likely be bringing a line item for a continued purchase of buses.
Just from memory, I think should be the third bus maybe in 3 years.
Yeah, but I don't think we retired any. And I think we have some, some storage, we need to consider storage of their buses, and we need to get some of them out of our fleet.
One of them, one was beyond repair.
How's it blowing up that view?
So I think, yeah, mine was one away.
But the third one, so. And the smaller bus that we're using right now, is it still usable then? No.
It's, it's smaller, it's not a minibus, we have minibuses as well, it's a tweener, kind of, yeah.
A motion to accept the bid from United Bus Sales for the purchase of the handicap bus.
A second.
We have a motion by Director Manicki, seconded by Director Marcus, to accept the bid from United Bus Sales for the purchase of a handicap bus. The amount of $89,848 plus tax, title, and license. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved.
Thank you.
Moving on, 10.2, discussion of restoration of stone wall contribution.
Background there is, the mayor approached me, probably 2 months ago. And you may or may not be aware, but there's a fund that was established some time ago seeking donations to restore the stone wall that sits on the south side of the building. From what I can tell, some of it sits on city property, some of it sits on school property. Obviously, it has a long history in our community. And a strong desire, at least by some, to keep it, but it's in disrepair. If you look at the street side of it where the salt and snow and gets pushed against it, it's deteriorated quite a bit. So in that fund that's been raised to date, it's approximately $8,000. The mayor asked if the school district at 8,000 for a total of 24,000, get some bids on a project to restore it, and see where the bids come, with the idea that either we could, leveraging the all-school reunion as a potential time to further donation of money. So we need 30, we've got 24 at seed. Alumni of Fosston schools, are you willing to, would you contribute? Or in 24 will get assist if we want to be able to do that type of thing. So looking for the interest of the school district to contribute to such. The $8,000 really was as a result of, that's what had been raised, so match it with two governmental agencies match the private funding that's in place. Obviously, we're not obligated to any amount, but we certainly could determine whatever amount if that's a direction the district would like to go. And I guess I would be of the belief and the kind of, I think doing nothing is probably not an option. It's in such disrepair. If you know, the pillar on the west side of it right now is braced up with some 2x4s or 6s. The idea would be that they would move that pillar about, I think it's about 8 feet or so, align it with the edge of the Civic Center, and then reestablish a pillar there, which would allow some future development of that entrance into the parking lot. Right now, it's kind of a bottleneck there, it shrinks down pretty tight, and so allowing for that in the future as well.
And that would be general fund dollars?
At this point in time, that would be the general fund dollars, yeah.
And if we do decide to match that donation, who takes it from there? Is that something the city would handle as far as contracting? Has that been discussed?
The city is ready to enter into a contract. Yeah, they would take the lead. Again, I think, if we needed or wanted a legal description of where the wall actually sits, we could investigate that. There's some belief that it sits within the highway right of way, which then would be state, I guess, right? That's what I'm looking at you a little bit. I think that's what we discussed right now. It's really unsure where it sits. But I think it's
They need to fix it and it'll never happen.
right. I think it's linked to the school. I mean, I think there's a bond between that wall and the school as there is on the north side too, that there's a lot of history there. So even if we don't legally have an obligation, I think maybe in being a good neighbor, maybe it's in our best interest to participate. We could wait for a bid and determine our donation at that time. We're not asking for action tonight, but wanted to get the discussion going.
Any other input or questions on that? All right, let's move on to 10.3.
Yeah, 10.3 is Mr. Janarski, Mr. Hanlon, myself, Mr. Manicki, actually maybe it originated with Mr. Manicki. The existing tables in our high school lunchroom are old and though they look actually pretty darn good, given the age of them. They're not easy to go up and, they don't go up and down like they used to. They're just, they maybe serve their time. So I'm thinking about that and trying to maybe bring a little bit of warmth to that area. It doubles as a hallway, we understand that, so it's a little bit of an awkward situation because we do have to pass students through there on a regular basis. But just looking at modern, or some newer schools that have been constructed, fairly recently, they're doing a lot more with lunchrooms than the traditional big long tables. Trying to bring a little warmth, coziness to some areas. So with that in mind, we just started exploring a little bit, reached out to a couple of different people, got some ideas. Of course, Ryan's in multiple schools throughout the area. I'm in multiple schools in my referee capacity. And so we talked to some people like that, some of those people. And we would just like to go to bid on some new furniture for that area. See what numbers it will bring us. It's not cheap stuff. But on the same token, I think it's something that could bring a little zest to the building and serve our students as well. We would try to look for some tables that could stay up on a regular basis so that seniors in particular, when they have 3 hours, that'd be a place for them a little bit more than the couple of high tables we have now. Home events, there's always people wanting to sit at home events and enjoy our concession stand. All the things that we've looked at so far are portable, so even though when you put them down, they can stay there, they can all get up and move as well if we needed them for a certain event. So these are just some ideas we've had, and we know what number of seats we need for lunch. Maybe a piece of that that we could share now is that next year we're gonna be moving 9th grade to eat with 7th and 8th grade, which balances out those lunch periods more so that the senior high students can get served a little quicker and have a little bit more time to eat. It also coincides with 9th graders are not allowed off campus during the lunch hour. 7th, 8th graders are not either. So all of the students in the first lunch would be on campus. We believe that some of our 9th graders probably escape us without us knowing it on a regular, or on occasion, maybe, we'll just say. So anyway, we can reduce the total number of seats that we need in the cafeteria because it'll be more balanced. We're shooting for just under 150 seats in the what we would be calling for a bid.
That'd be a 23-24 budget item then?
Correct, next year's, yeah.
There's multiple vendors as well.
Yeah, we've talked to a couple only, but there's a lot of people selling this stuff, yeah. Yeah, we will do a full-fledged bid, we'll get April, if this is approved, we'll get the names of different vendors in April, we'll send that document out.
Okay.
So I guess right now, we're looking for approval to do the bid, and then obviously, before any purchase, we would bring this back before the board.
Motion to call for bid.
Second.
Right, we have a motion by Director Christian, seconded by Director Munter to approve call for bids for new high school cafeteria furniture. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved.
Okay, thank you for that.
11.0 reports. Do we have any committee reports this month? 12.0 upcoming meeting schedule. Next regular meeting is June 19th, 7 o'clock at the conference room here. There is an LTFM meeting on Monday morning. And also graduation, Wednesday morning, sorry. And graduation is on the 26th at 7 p.m. You are all welcome to attend. And if you show up, you get front row seat.
In the comfy chairs.
In the nice chairs.
Oh,
And it's usually under an hour, so.
Are there comfy chairs?
You're sitting
There have been.
Yeah, these ones.
Jeez.
I think I had my speech down to like 40 minutes or something, so.
Yeah, no, it's student speeches.
Maybe.
I'm gonna recap it in day one.
I don't know who that would have been.
6 days later.
I was interviewed.
Alright, with that, the next item is closed session for negotiation strategy. Probably have to wait for Mr. Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for coming in.
We'll see you Thursday. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Dan and Don.
Alright, So, it's on the agenda to go into closed session, in the conference room here. We'll start at 7:55, we can call it. But in order to do that, we need a motion to enter into closed session.
Motion to enter into closed session.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Director Munter, seconded by Director Christian to enter closed session for negotiation strategy. This is a roll call vote. Director Manicki? Here. Yes or no?
Yes, sorry.
Director Munter?
Yes.